What's up, guys? I'm your host, Cody Brockway. We're back here on Brockway's Vinyl Bites for another Saturday metal stream. We got some fun stuff going on today. Oh my God, what am I doing? We got some fun stuff going on for you today. We are talking about Judas Priest. We've got some regular faces, and but this is a different panel. We've never quite had this concoction of people here before. But let's introduce. We got Mr. Lauren Murphy in the house. Say hi, Lauren.
Hello.
We got Mr. Wayne from A Pocket Full of Heap and Prisms of Prague.
Hello.
We got Mr. Martin Popoff here. One of my favorite authors ever. I love his books. How you doing, Martin?
Thanks very much. Oh, doing fine. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. And we got one of my favorite keyboardists ever. We've got Mr. Matt Brown here with us. That guy's awesome. You guys got to hear him play. He's fantastic.
I've never heard him. Are you sure he's that good?
I know he's pretty great. So just if you're new to the channel, typically what we do is we kind of go around the board before we get into the sort of meat and potatoes of the whole project, and we kind of just talk about what everybody's doing, what's kind of new and in everyone's lives, what's going on, what's coming out, that sort of thing. So let's start off with Lauren. What are you up to, my friend?
Well, today I'll be going on and testing out my new radio show.
Yeah,
right on.
I'll be doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, Deep Nuggets Radio. In fact, I probably have to check out of this one a bit early today. So
yes, that's why I switched the camera so Lauren can kind of go up first, because he's got to dip out to take care of some business.
Yeah, that's what's going on with me.
Lauren, I'm going to piggyback off that too, because tomorrow afternoon, after the feature on the Prague Corner, I am actually going to do some practice runs for my first show on Deep Nuggets Radio as well. I start Thursday, February 8th, and Lauren, you start on February 11th. Is that correct?
10th.
Saturday. 10th. Sorry. Awesome. So 3 hours of music with these guys. Wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Wayne Fisher, what's that, Lauren?
I said you guys will be listening too.
Oh, yeah. You want to hear everything from Judas Priest, Genesis, you know where to go.
Right.
Mr. Wayne Fisher, we got From a Pocket Full of Heap and Prisms of Prague. How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. Weather's been great out here in Alberta. Was 9 degrees Celsius the other day, which for this time of year, anything where you get above -20, that's good. On Pocket Full of Heap, just finished, uploaded today my reaction to Maybe I'm Amazed by Paul McCartney.
Oh, I love that.
Classic song.
Yeah, from his one of his Wings concert footage.
The Rock Show.
Wings. Great guitar solo. And then on Prisms of Prague, I just uploaded and finished my full album kind of reaction thing to Metropolis Part 2, Scenes of a Memory by Dream Theater.
Yeah. One of the great albums, if you were to ask someone like me, but that is my humble opinion. Matt Brown, what do you got going on?
Well,
it's early in the morning for you there.
It's a little sleepy here, but that's okay. Since I spend my evenings gigging, I sleep in. So I'm trying to wake up. I'm doing the best I can. Things are good though. I play in a bunch of bands here in LA, so we're doing a lot of shows, and then I've got my Tuesday night radio show, and just I can't say there's anything super brand new, but everything's good. We're in between storms at the moment, so it's supposed to get a ton of rain starting tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, Mr. Martin Pop, how's it going in Toronto there, my friend?
Pretty good. Busy as usual. Got a lot of writing I'm working on right now. In fact, I talked to Ian Hill and Richie Faulkner about the new Priest album.
That's awesome.
A couple songs on my list here because it's a really good album. But talked to Phil Mogg recently, Bruce Dickinson recently, Roy Z yesterday. So I've been on a tear with that stuff. But got my audio podcast, History in 5 Songs with Martin Popoff. We're up to 241 episodes of that. We got our video channel, The Contrarians. And in case I have to jump into them for any reason, I've got my 2 Priest books here that tell the story. And then I've got my big coffee table Priest book, which is a timeline and pictures. So got all that. So the books are all at martinpopoff.com. And the most recent one was Perfect Water, The Rebel Imaginos. It's my Blue Oyster Cult related conspiracy theory, occult craziness, alchemy thing that follow up to Flaming Telepaths.
Yeah,
Right.
You know, Martin Popoff is a very happening guy. I've got to say, I just got this book. It is so cool. I've got so many of his books. I've got an Iron Maiden one. I got a couple of the Rush ones. I actually just for a family friend for Christmas, who I didn't get to see till about a week ago, which is like 3 weeks after Christmas. But I bought that entire trilogy of Rush books, Rush in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and gave them to her as a gift because she is a massive Rush fan. You don't hear that very often today. She's a massive Rush fan. That you never hear that. But anyway, Martin, she's been reading those books and she loves them. So
Cool.
yeah, thank you for
Excellent.
awesome. So what do you got in the horizon with your books? What do you got coming out?
Well, let's see. We've got the Thin Lizzy panel book called Honesty is No Excuse. Thin Lizzy album by album, I think it's called. We've got Pictures at 11, a Robert Plant panel book.
Oh,
Going
wow.
through all of those. We've got a Led Zeppelin visual biography. We've got Queen Live, which is a timeline of all the concerts and trivia around that. And then Van Halen at 50. So those are the ones I can say anything about. And there's I think 3 more that I can't say anything about. So
Well, that's okay. If you go send him a friend request on Facebook, or you follow him at martinpopoff.com, or even if you go on Amazon, as much as I hate to kind of support Amazon as a small business owner, but Amazon, yeah, you can get all of his books and everything through there, and you can kind of just see what's going on in the world of these amazing books that you've been doing, man. Awesome. Great stuff. So Mr. Lauren, we're going to let Lauren go first because Lauren will have to dip out, as you know. So Lauren, give us your top 15 favorite Judas Priest songs.
Okay, I will have to put on the old man glasses. Yeah, this was hard. I found that I was leaving out huge eras of their catalog. And I was thinking, God, should I include something from this album, just to represent it? But I couldn't kick these songs out. So it's a narrower one than I'm used to doing. But here we go. Number 15, Electric Eye.
Oh, nice one.
I remember when Screaming for Vengeance came out, one of my school friends gave me the tape for my 10th birthday at my birthday party. And it was one of those, we all have those life-changing albums, you hear about. And that was definitely one of mine. I completely fell in love with Priest from that moment on. And my poor mom held them responsible for changing me from the kid who came home every day from school at lunch to watch the Flintstones to the kid who went straight to his room to listen to Screaming for Vengeance for the 80th time. I remember I even got one of those. Do you guys remember those iron-on patches you'd make on your T-shirts?
Yeah.
You don't get them at the mall, Yeah, you stand there and at the mall while they make it for you. And then after 5 washes, it peels off anyway. But anyway, I had one of those.
Lauren, I'm sorry, man. I got to jump in here for 1 sec. We've got a couple of great people here in the peanut gallery. We have Tara O'Reilly from Spin in Prague. How you doing, Tara? She's actually got a question for Martin. I'm delighted to hear something being written about Thin Lizzy. Great stuff. Have you gotten Jim Fitzpatrick involved with it, Martin?
Well, not this one because it's a panel book, but I also have the visual biography coffee table book. He's not in that either, but he's in my 2-part Thin Lizzy story interviewed ages ago. So all the great stuff on all the album cover art is in. Let's see, one of them just got updated. One of them's called the first one's called Emerald Thin Lizzy. I don't know, 69, 76 or something. The second one's called The Sun Goes Down. Thin Lizzy. It's a long story. It was a trilogy before, but now it's 2 books. So that's the story. And then there's the coffee table book. And this one is straight. I got a bunch of wise music swamis like you guys all together sort of thing. And we went through every studio album.
Well, I'm just saying I'd be happy to partake in something like that because I'm a freak for doing things like this, as you could probably tell.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you, Martin, and I'm so sorry, Lauren. We just had to
No
address
worries.
that. So please do continue, my friend.
Okay, number 14, Sinner. Sin After Sin. To me, it's a good example of the way their albums were all giant in the 70s, were all giant leaps forward from the ones that preceded them. You know, if you think about Rock'n'Rolla was, great, but Sad Wings of Destiny was that much better.
Yeah.
And yet Sad Wings of Destiny and Rock'n'Rolla are kind of similar albums anyway, to me, the way they sound. But Sin After Sin was a big jump forward, I think, in their catalog. Simon Phillips on drums. I mean, that takes it to another.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, young Simon Phillips drummed on that album, and that's obviously a big difference there. And, the song has really cool twists and turns along the way. It's got tempo shifts. It's got key changes. Alfred glides over top of the whole thing beautifully. The guitar solo is to die for. I just never get tired of hearing Sinner. And it's a sophisticated album, really.
That's a great album. What do you got next, Lauren?
13, Running Wild. I love this track. There's not even anything particularly noteworthy about it. It's just such a classic riff-based heavy metal track from the 70s. And who better to do that than Priest, the Kings.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with these albums that were starting to sound a bit more accessible than their earlier ones.
Yeah.
But without them having jumped headfirst into the commercial waters yet. So Killing Machine, is kind of a hybrid album in that sense to me. So that's 13.
That's a great album.
12 is Exciter from Stained Class, another classic opener. Halford is the real star of that one, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's an amazingly creative period for the band. I mean, they put out Stained Class and Killing Machine in the same year, and
yeah, wow.
I think that's their peak, that era. 11, Let Us Pray and Call for the Priest. A classic sounding 70s Priest track. A memorable intro, a driving metal song. It keeps the energy and the momentum going until the end.
Nice.
It reprises that opening melody partway through. It just ticks all the boxes, and I think it's a huge highlight of Sin After Sin. It's almost my favorite track on Sin After Sin.
Right on. Nice pick.
All right, so
good album.
A pair of tracks from British Steel for numbers 10 and 9. Metal Gods. I think they did a great job honing their sound. Yeah, British Steel.
I love this album.
They really honed their sound around that time, at least with some of the tracks on that album. I almost find, other than Metal Gods and the second song, which for me is Grinder, I think it's almost like the rest of the album is a little bit of a letdown in comparison. Not that it's bad, and it's not bad at all, but those are the tracks that sort of represent that album for me. I think a lot of people, would choose Living After Midnight or Breaking the Law, or something, but for me, those are the two tracks. Yeah. They're catchy. There's a good reason why Metal Gods was a concert staple for a while anyway.
More on that one later, trust me.
I think it opens with Rapid Fire, and that's a good song, but I always liked Metal Gods better, and I would have made that the opening cut.
Yeah, that's a good thing about. That's a good thing to think about. We should consider that for a future episode. Like what would we change about certain albums? Like what would we put like a specific different song as the opener track? Like for years I thought with the Holy Diver record, I thought, wow, why didn't they put Holy Diver first? But then I think it's like, okay, Stand Up and Shout, it's like you put it on, it's like boom, just blast people right into it, right? And then that's when you get Holy Diver. But that's a great thought, Lauren. That's absolutely.
Okay, so number 8, I'm gonna go with the anthemic sing-along stadium rocker with "Take on the World." I know people are like, "What, really?" But I like it. I always loved it. Since I was a kid, it's kind of like their "We Will Rock You" song. And I understand people thinking that it doesn't really fit with the sound or their catalog, but I think
Yeah,
it
but
has
they did that a few times. They did that a couple times, though, right? Like especially in the mid '80s, right?
Oh, they did that many times, but this one was on Killing Machine, so it was kind of, but it has a kind of naive charm that still resonates with me. I still like that song.
Mm-hmm.
So number 7 is my other curveball, and that's the song "Desert Plains" from Point of Entry.
Great.
Yeah. It's an album that, of course, it's not considered a beloved album. Maybe some people think it's a disappointment compared to British Steel, but I actually turn to this one more often than British Steel.
I think it's less played, right? Like it's not as played as Living After Midnight. I mean, it does have Heading Out to the Highway, but you just don't really hear it as much as British Steel stuff.
No, it's they had taken that more melodic hard rock route, but the songwriting was still good. It was very good.
Yeah.
The drumming on that track is amazing. Desert Plains. The whole album sounds good, actually. It's a good sounding album.
Great production, absolutely.
So I don't know if anyone else is going to pluck anything from that album, but I think it's much better than it gets.
Yes, they will. I am too. So.
Disclaimer. I don't have anything from that record. Actually, no, I don't have anything from that record. I'm sorry to say, because I do like that album, but no.
Spoiler alert, Cody. God. Number 6, "Victim of Changes." From, well, we all know where that's from.
Yeah.
Now, Cody, you said you had that box set of the complete Priest CDs.
Yes, I do. Want me to show it to you?
No, I believe you. I think I think that album in that box set, they've reversed the sides A and B of the original LP, so the CD runs starting with Prelude. And I think it's the only version of it where it's like that. And I've always wondered if that album was supposed to have been sequenced that way.
I have different pressings of it on CD and on vinyl where the track listings are totally different, and I wondered about that. So thanks for bringing that up. We got Scott Lade from the Prog Corner in the house. What's going on, Scott? How you doing, man? Oh, we love Scott Lade here on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. Yeah, we're joining with him tomorrow. Wayne and I are going to be joining on there to talk about Dream Theater with him every Sunday. We're on there pretty much. Rock on, Scott. Thanks for joining.
Continue. Anyway, yeah, Victim of Changes. Yeah, it's got some major proggy moments on it, particularly the arrangement. It's got that young Halford operatic vocal. I mean, it's just classic.
It's got a great live version too.
Victim of Changes on your list,
Absolutely.
Number 5, Delivering the Goods. Delivering the Goods is like the perfect opening track to what is probably my favorite Priest album, Killing Machine.
Yeah, awesome.
When I was a teenager, I had a Maxell tape that had this on side A, and it had Scorpion's Tokyo tapes on side B.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't get much better than that for 70s metal.
No, that's great.
So it's just one of those songs that, as they say, it does what it says on the tin. Everyone is on fire on this track. They really are delivering the goods,
Absolutely.
And the riffs hit hard, but they're not simple. It's I think it might be the best sounding record they made in the 70s. There's just nothing not to like about Delivering the Goods. So
yeah, that was definitely a step in the right direction, especially as opposed with the production and all that. It sounds great. The songs are awesome. That's just it's a fantastic album, top to bottom.
So if you don't have Delivering the Goods on your list, cross off something and put it on. Number 4. Number 4 is Burning Up from Killing Machine. Now, some people don't like this one, but I think it has a killer groove. I love Halford's delivery, the little riffs which kind of dance around the arrangement. It's got that unexpected breakdown in the middle after the second chorus. It's very cool and very underrated song. I'm surprised more people don't like that one.
Yeah, good pick.
Number 3, The Ripper.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice
one. What can I even say? It's The Ripper. You know, it's one of the most perfectly concise tracks in their catalog, but it's got so much going on in it. It's kind of a counterpoint to Victim of Changes, with that one being so long and drawn out. But there's all these little fun moments with the stereo panning. I love that in-your-face lead vocal. Yeah. I'd like to hear a good 5.1 mix. I don't know if Priest has been done in 5.1 by anybody, but
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'd like to hear Ripper.
I'd imagine that the new album will probably come out in Dolby Atmos because that's kind of the thing that's going on these days. So I imagine that they'll probably do that for the new one. But yeah, someone should go just do the whole back catalog. I heard Steven Wilson needs some things to do.
Okay, number 2, Dissident Aggressor.
Nice.
After Sin, a great track all around. I love Halford doing those call and answer vocals towards the end between his low and high registers and with the left and right channels. It's got that cool intro. You know, sometimes they got caught up a little bit in the atmospheric intros and things that didn't seem to really fit their music that well, but this one has a very sensible feel to it.
Yeah.
The way it builds up with the drums coming in early and it kind of crescendos into that explosion of the body of the song with a classic Halford scream.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's an all-time classic. I mean, so. And number 1, Beyond the Realms of Death.
Yeah, nice one.
Stained Class. I've always listed this as my number 1 Priest song. It's got that melodic structure in the early part of the song that almost sounds like something like Sweet Madam Blue or something.
Like Styx, okay.
And then that carries it along through the first half until it finally becomes Priest. You know, sure enough, that, you know, the amazing guitar solos show up and it all just lands to what is to me the ultimate Priest track.
Great.
Saying
Great
something.
choice. So. And the guitar playing in that, the guitar solos at the end of that song.
Amazing.
More on that one later. Great list, Lauren. Love it. Let's give a thumbs up for Lauren. That was great.
Yeah, give me a thumbs up.
Really good.
Okay, good.
Mr. Wayne Fisher, what do you got going on your list?
Oh man, I came into Priest about 3 years ago, and they're actually, I believe, the first band I ever did a reaction to was "Victim of Changes" by Judas Priest.
That was your first Priest song, man. Wow, awesome.
Yeah. And just have pretty much fallen in love with them since. Over the last week, I pretty much crammed everything in once found out doing this episode. So I might not have as much talking points about some of these, but I kind of did what I did last week and just wrote down a crap load of songs and I'll figure it out as I go.
That's what life is all about, my friend. Just figuring it out day by day.
Yeah. For me, my number 15 is from Painkiller, Touch of Evil.
Oh.
I really like that symphonic opening to that track with a little bit of synth work in there. Just gave it a whole new feel. Number 14 for me is from Screaming for Vengeance, Take These Chains.
Nice.
I think that's a cover, but it's a really good one.
It is a cover, yeah.
They do it great. Awesome. Great pick, Wayne.
Number 13 for me is Monsters of Rock.
Wow. What album is that from, Wayne?
I believe it's from Ram It Down.
Okay, right on.
It's the closing track, I think, off that album.
Nice one.
Cool. Number 12 for me, Some Heads Are Gonna Roll.
Oh yeah, some heads are gonna roll.
I remember
If you
that.
guys, if anyone here listens to Ozzy's Boneyard on Sirius XM, they play that one all the time, and I never get tired of it. It's great.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 11 is going to be, I think, on their most recent album they're coming out with, Panic Attack.
Oh,
That's good. I heard that last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
has anyone noticed the Rush bit in the middle of that? I mean, the Rush E kind of bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I heard that.
Yeah, you're not the only one, but that's a great song. Great, I really like that song. Great pick.
Yeah, it kind of feels like as Rob gets older, his voice just still has that shriek. I can just send shivers down your spine. Number 11 for me, Diamonds and Rust from Sin After Sin.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
That's
awesome.
Another cover.
Number 10 from Stained Class, Hero's End.
Oh, right on. Awesome.
Cool.
Number 9 for me is from their Firepower album, Never the Heroes.
That's a great album. That's an awesome album.
It really is. The cover's awesome to it. Rick Rob's voice on it is great, and it's. I remember I listened to it, hearing that they were gonna be doing a concert in my area with Uriah Heep as the opener.
Oh wow, that's killer.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen that concert because I seen Heep in a small venue and they were fantastic.
Yeah, they're a great band.
Number 8 for me, Winter Deep Freeze, Winter Retreat, Cheater from the Rock and Roll album.
Wow. Okay, that's
going all the way back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right back to the humble beginnings. Nice one, Wayne. What do you got for number 7, my friend?
Number 7, Desert Plains.
Oh,
nice one. Yeah, Lauren likes that one.
just a great song. Like Priest, I love how diverse their catalog is. Where you think Judas Priest, you think shrieking heavy metal, but they could also be melodic as hell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They wanted to be. Number 6 for me is gonna be Let Us Pray, Call for the Priest.
Yeah.
So right on.
Awesome.
Number 5, Dreamer, Deceiver.
Oh yeah.
From Sad Wings of Destiny.
Nice.
Yeah, that's an epic tune.
Number 4 for me. Oh god. Here Comes the Tears, Dissident Aggressor.
Oh yeah.
Had to put it together because they just flow just right into each other. Priest were awesome at this, just having songs where one song would just flow right into the other. Did it with Hellion and Evil Eye as well.
And Dreamer, Deceiver.
Dreamer, Deceiver.
Awesome.
Sure.
Awesome, man. What's your next one, my friend?
Oh, let's see. That was number 4. Number 3 is going to be Genocide.
Oh.
Sad Wings of Destiny.
Nice one.
My number 2, Victim of Changes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just an awesome song. And like Lauren, my number 1, my all-time favorite Judas Priest song, Beyond the Realms of Death. One of the greatest ballads ever written.
Yes, your $5
Like-
is in the mail.
Glenn, Glenn Tipton and KK Downing's just two guitar solos on that song. Well worth the price of admission. But I love how soft Rob's voice is, and then it builds. And the climax is just perfect to that song.
That's an epic song. That's a great list, Wayne. Good. We got 30 great songs so far.
Yeah, we're really almost. Only a
Matt
couple
Brown,
didn't
yeah,
get to that list.
almost. There was a couple of repeats, but
Yeah.
Mr. Matt Brown, what do you got going on for us today in your top 15 favorite Judas Priest tunes?
I'm putting on my glasses too.
It's getting serious now.
I'm in the same boat as Lauren. I'm putting my glasses on here.
Good.
I have kind of a similar, I don't know if I would say it's a similar story, but I will say that I wrote down a ton of tunes and then I had to figure out how I was going to more or less rank them. And these are loose rankings. There's a lot of great stuff missing, and that was painful.
Yeah.
But and I also was doing the same thing. Like, there are a couple albums that are more represented than others, and part of me was thinking, well, but I had to go with my gut, with what the tunes that really hit me hard. And I mean, everything that both Wayne and Lauren mentioned, some of those are on my list too, but the ones that aren't, I'm like, oh, those are all great. Those would all be here too if there was more room than 15. So
Yeah.
So here we go. Number 15, Before the Dawn.
Nice.
I believe that's from Stained Class. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Hellbent for Leather.
that's from Leather.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's
Killing
a
Machine.
great song. I love that one. Yeah, Killing Machine. Oh, that brings up a point too. We're talking about, like, you guys were talking earlier about the whole rapid fire starting out British Steel.
Mm-hmm.
In the States, Breaking the Law was the first track. When I bought my first copy of that album in '83,
It is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember thinking, oh, wow, they did it differently in the UK. It was like probably one of the first times I saw that kind of a change with the way albums. Maiden did that too with a lot of their records. They would leave songs off because they were singles, and the Beatles, of course, did that all the time back in the 60s.
Yeah.
But anyway,
The Beatles had no choice. That was kind of the standard back then. But yeah,
back then it was a standard. So
Like
anyway.
the first Sabbath album was like that, where one of them had Wicked World and the other version had Evil Woman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sorry, go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. Number 14, Rapid Fire.
Okay, there we go.
Rapid Fire.
So it is getting represented. I almost went with it was kind of a coin toss. I almost went with The Rage because I really love that song too. But Rapid Fire won out. Number 13, the classic. It's almost become a cliche, but it really isn't a cliche. Hellbent for Leather.
Yeah, love it. Great song.
That sucker is just perfect in so many ways. Gets in there, gets to the point, and just kicks you where it counts. Number 12, Solar Angels. And the point of entry album, like, I like some of it a lot, and some of it kind of leaves me cold, but the strong points are super strong, and that's one of them.
Matt, you're going to make Richard Fusey very happy.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Richard. I know he likes that one. I think he requested that on my show one time, and I was like, oh, I would love to play that. Number 11, which was both Lauren's and Wayne's number 1, and it's been rising on my list for months now, Beyond the Realms of Death.
Nice.
It's just perfect in every possible way. And that's the thing. A lot of these rankings are kind of, in a way, for me, they're kind of arbitrary. I really struggled with putting them in any kind of order.
Yeah.
Number 10, United from British Steel. I love the anthemic quality of that song has always kind of spoken to me.
I love that song.
Yeah. Number 9, I went with this one because it's the first song of theirs I ever heard, and that's You Got Another Thing Coming from Screaming for Vengeance.
Yeah.
I heard that in 1982, and my reaction was not too dissimilar to Lawrence. I was like, hey, whoa, what's that? I need to know more about this.
Yeah.
So, that song, just, I love the production on it. The video was trippy. I mean, there were so many things about it that were great. And the guitar solos, of course, and Rob. the flange thing towards the end, with the drums.
Awesome.
Here's another one that might surprise you guys. Number 8, Free Wheel Burning from Defenders of the Faith.
Nice.
That
Just missed my list.
That sucker just cooks in every possible way. I mean, and when I got into the back catalog, I saw the lineage between some of the earlier songs like Exciter and Genocide and Tyrant, and like that whole like it's kind of another chapter in that whole thing,
Yeah.
So
absolutely
Good call.
number 7, and this is where I'm really showing my preferences here, and yes, they are partly nostalgic, but this album is justifiably great. Number 7, Bloodstone.
awesome.
That is an all-time favorite. That was almost number 1. I mean, I almost put that at number 1. I love that tune so much.
That's a jump from 1 to 7, my friend.
I know. Well, that's why it was so hard to put this together in any semblance of order. I really had a hard time.
If it can't be number 1,
number 7 album on. I'm sorry. What, Lauren?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead. Sorry, I was joking.
I could have put the entire Vengeance album on here. I could have, but I didn't because I thought, okay, that's just not fair.
Yeah.
Number 6, Desert Plains.
Yeah.
That song has such an epic cinematic quality about it. I adore it. And it's a great driving song, although you guys probably already know that.
Yeah.
Number 5, Fever, which doesn't get a lot of attention. Maybe some folks might think that's a weaker song from their catalog, but I love the way it builds, the beginning, the opening, and it's kind of Zeppelin-esque in a way, kind of like later Zeppelin, like in the evening, like into the outdoor era type Zeppelin. I love that.
Love that song too.
Number 4, Metal Gods.
Oh yeah,
gotta have Metal Gods on there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just epic. I'm actually really proud that I didn't put the 2 big British Steel songs on this list. They almost made it, and I was like, no, I love them, but I know I can find things I like even better. So, but
if that's how we're doing this, I'm going to have to hide my head in shame. Then, my friend.
No, that's not necessary.
I'm just playing. Continue, my friend.
Number 3, Victim of Changes, of course. And I don't know which version I like best. I mean, the brooding quality of the Sad Wings of Destiny version versus the energy of the Unleashed in the East. I mean, they're both great, but that's such an epic. So, number 2, Heading Out to the Highway.
Oh yeah, great
more
one.
More of an anthem, more of a simple song, but that I just love. I've adored that song ever since the first time I heard it. And number 1, I think probably this. Yes, sentimentality reigns here, even though Got Another Thing Coming was the first Priest song I heard. When I dropped the needle on side 1 of Vengeance for the first time, I got smacked in the stomach with A Hellion and Electric Eye. That's my number 1. That just sent me to a whole other place. I was like, okay, I got to know more about this band. This is fantastic. So there you go.
And I guess that they had this was their highest selling album, at least at that time. Mm-hmm. And I guess that You Got Another Thing Coming was a pretty big hit single for them at the time too, right?
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's
in my massive singles collection. I've got the US 45 of that.
Really? What's on the other side? What's on the flip side? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It might have been a live track.
Martin, do you know?
I'm not sure. Does anyone remember?
Comes to mind, but I don't know. I don't
know.
Remember. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
I'll get back to you.
Pull it out. Yeah, please do. I want to know. So that's 3 great lists so far out of 5. Every track has been awesome. Now, Martin, how are you going to follow up some of these guys?
Okay, well, let's start with number 15.
I know you're packing the heat, my friend.
Yeah, heading out to the highway. I'll start with. I could have gone with Solar Angels or Desert Plains as well. I get more out of this, like Lauren. I get more out of this album than I do British Steel. To me, it's this is like the mournful version of Breaking the Law a little bit. But yeah, good catchy anthem. But I could have put. I'd say a lot of this album would show up in my next 15. I think. 14, I put Gates of Hell from Invincible Shield, which I just wanted to get 2 in here because I love this album. It's my favorite Priest album since Hellbent. So I think you guys are really going to like this album when it comes out.
That's cool.
That's huge.
My notes say cool intro. Yeah, I've got these short notes I made, and then now my download of it expired, so I haven't gone back and played it for the last couple of weeks. But cool intro, grinding start, open hi-hat, Lizzie twin lead, good pockets, stomping with spaces, great difference, cool melodic pre-chorus and chorus.
Right on.
13, I've got Reckless. I almost could have put Turbo Lover in there as well, but I really like Reckless. Last track, I love the chord changes in that one. Those are probably the only two from Turbo that might have even got close to this list. 12, I've got Let Us Pray, Call for the Priest, even though they keep screwing up the order of those two things. It drives me crazy. The difference in trying to figure out what the actual song's even called, but this is first really fast technical one. It's got Simon Phillips going crazy on it, weird kind of almost like religious overtones or undertones, kind of like Sad Wings does. But yeah, that one blew our minds as kids when that came out. It was so fast and so cool. Number 11, I've got Rock Forever. Love the Les Binks kind of double bass that he filters into that song. I think it's just a good, catchy song. It's about loving metal. It's one of the first songs that does that. It's just a lot happen. It's just really tight and fast. And it gets the point across. And it's just a good headbanging track. Picked another one from Invincible Shield next, number 10, Giants in the Sky. I could have gone for Panic Attack too, guys, or Trial by Fire. I think both of those are really good. But Giants in the Sky, my notes don't have much here. It just says awesome proggy riff, slow, melodic, cool, complicated.
Well, Martin, I don't know if you've watched a whole lot of Brockways Vinyl Bites, but we love the prog around here.
Oh yeah, you'll like this. There's a lot of changes and cool slow parts and double time and got it cutting to halftime and all that kind of stuff.
Good.
Number 9, I've got Electric Eye. This whole side I could have put Riding on the Wind or Bloodstone as well. But yeah, Electric Eye is just undeniable. It's an absolute classic. Blew our minds when it came out. It was way heavier than pretty much anything on Point of Entry. Then, like Lauren, I totally agree. Everything he said is exactly what I would say about Metal Gods and Grinder. I think they're the two songs that show the songwriting advancing, and everything else on the album is both kind of stupider and dumber and not as heavy as the previous album. So these are the two songs where I love just the hookiness and the heaviness and the riff and the directness. So next I've got, Metal Gods at 8, Grinder at 7. Then I've got The Ripper. I love all the different little parts they get to in this short song. To me, this is the song that is closest to them sounding, as creative as Queen, say on Queen 1 or Queen 2 or Sheer Heart Attack. Nice. But yeah, just the cool little changes and the lack of drums in places and the little sound effects part. It just takes you right back. Funny thing about this album, and I always mention this to the guys or whoever, like when we're talking about this, is like every lyric on here sounds like it could have come from the 1400s, except this is the most modern lyric on here. It's from like the 1800s, right? So kind of weird.
Well put.
Yeah.
People never.
Number 5, I got Running Wild. Absolutely irresistible, cool song. It sounds just like a cool, well-disciplined, put together, except like rocker. For a short song, there's some really cool different parts in it and stuff, and it takes you to some different places. Priest is really good at like giving you a new riff when they're going to solo, stuff like that. They're good with pre-choruses as well. Number 4, I've got Dissonant Aggressor. Yeah. Heaviest track, one of the heaviest songs they did ever, but certainly in 1977. But the weird Simon Phillips drums, which sound like clumpy Bill Ward drums, because what do you do with that riff? He just I just got to keep up in some way. It's so cool, right? And Slayer covered this song later. But yeah, really super heavy, not super long.
That's right. I forgot that Slayer did that. They did. That's true. Yeah. Nice.
Number 3, I've got Burning Up. Just love it to death. Just that cool kind of like funky, hooky vibe to it, but it's still heavy. It's got great parts in it as well. This, I think, is them really improving on the songwriting. Like a lot of the older stuff can sound a little depressing in a certain way, and this one really like gives you that sort of human connectivity kind of thing. So I really like. I think it's a brave song to do that sort of beat. And then number 2, I got Hellbent for Leather. One of their greatest riffs. Short song, fast song, great parts, some double bass, some tapping. guitar tapping. And it's a great anthem, great title as well. And number 1, I got Delivering the Goods, my favorite Priest song of all time. Kicks off the album, super chunky. This is snarling, heavy Priest, unlike the last 2 albums, which were very toppy in the production, kind of academic and scientific. To me, this is them just being super heavy metal and great vocals on it, cutting down to the halftime. Just a really cool riff, like a utilitarian, useful headbanging Judas Priest song. So there you go. That's my 15.
Awesome. Great list, Martin. Awesome. Let's give some thumbs up for Mr. Popoff here. That was great. Excellent. Martin, you mentioned about the lyrics, and it reminded me of something funny that you said on Sea of Tranquility. I watch you on there all the time. And you guys were talking about early Yes. Maybe you know where I'm going with this, but you were talking about, you pulled out the Going for the One album. You said the lyrics are different on this as opposed to the earlier stuff where it feels like I'm walking into a cellar or something, and it's like I'm being indoctrinated into a religious cult.
Locked in the basement, speakers up in the corner, just blasting John Anderson, the sacred texts, right?
Man, I've returned to that video a couple of times, and every time I hear that, it kills me because it's true. I mean, it's true. Great. I mean, I went after and listened to Close to the Edge again, and I was like, oh my God. I never thought of it that way. But now that you said it, I'm thinking of it as like, I hear it too. I love
everything. Send all your money to John Anderson.
It worked.
I mean, I love his lyrics. I love just the whole, that it's just kind of ubiquitous. It just kind of takes on whatever different meanings that you're feeling in that moment. But it's like, that was a really funny analogy, and I never forgot it, and I don't think I ever will. That was a great way to sum it up. That was awesome.
Cody, I'm really glad you brought that up. I'm going to be laughing about that all day, dude. Oh my God, that's brilliant, Martin.
that was a good one, dude.
I'm a huge Yes fan too.
Well, the funny thing about Priest lyrics, Priest lyrics sound like you could just open the Bible and read a bunch of stuff for half of the early stuff, and then the rest of it is Star Wars, right? From the early days, right? So
Bible means Star Wars.
Yeah. Star Wars in the Bible. That's all our lyrics come from Star Wars in the Bible.
I got a bad feeling about this.
If I can get it together long enough. Oh my gosh.
Oh, brilliant.
I need a drink. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah. Take a drink if you need
one. Okay. So I didn't put any covers on my list, but I have one honorable mention because Priest, like Metallica, do incredible covers. And I have to give an honorable mention to the Green Manalishi with the two-pronged crown.
That nearly made it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. But other than that, I didn't put any covers on. So number 15, we've got the title track from Killing Machine, which it's not the title track over here, but it is in some parts of the world. Right. But we got Killing Machine. Next up, we've got the live version of Victim of Change is at number 14.
Yep.
How could I not? This is far and away my favorite version. Obviously, the studio version's great, but this is the one that I first heard and just went, wow. And it's still my favorite in comparison of the two of them, but they're both great. Number 13, I didn't put anything from the new album because I've only heard a couple, like one or two of the singles, and so I gotta let that sort of sink in. So the newest thing that I have is from Firepower, and it's a song called Lightning Strike. Mm-hmm. It's a great song. It's got a great groove. Halford sounds mean and wonderful and amazing on this. It's just awesome. Number 12, I do not have a prop for, but it is Some Heads Are Gonna Roll from the Defenders of the Faith record. Yeah. Great song. Great song. Great song. What else can I say? Great tune. Number 11, the title track from Turbo. I've only got 2 songs from this because it's not really one of my favorite albums, but number 11 is the title track, Turbo Lover. Number 10 is one that everybody has picked already, but there's no way that I could not pick this. it is just the guitar solo just totally blew me right away. Obviously, it's beyond the realms of death. Everybody else put it near like their top 2 or 3, but I've got it down at 10. So you know that the following 9 are going to be really great. Hold on, my props fell over here. Give me a second.
Uh-oh.
Prop emergency. Okay.
Right.
So number 9 is Number 9 is, man, I got to find a better way to do this. There we go. You got Another Thing Coming. Yeah, it's a single, but I love it. Every time it comes on, I sing along to the guitar solo every freaking time without fail. I love the solo in this song so much, and it's just a badass tune. That's all there is to it. Just a great tune.
I love that their solos are often hooky. I think that's amazing.
Yes, very melodic.
I think a lot of bands did that, and a lot of bands didn't. But that's always something that I loved about listening to KK and Glenn solo, is that even when they're shredding, it's like it's melodic. I love that. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's why you're able to sing along with it, because it's like you can be sitting waiting for your food at a restaurant, and you think of the song, and it's like you can recall the entire solo, right? It's like anyway, number 8.
Sure.
I'm Plain Jane, Living After Midnight. I love this song. Every time that comes on, I'm driving in the car and I just hear that boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta. It's all over from there for me. I just love it so much. That's my number 8 is Living After Midnight. Number 7 is Metal Gods. How could I not? Y'all know me here. How could I not pick a song that is literally just about appreciating metal like the way this one is, right? It's just awesome. So number 6 is one that nobody has picked just yet. Where'd the record go? Oh, there we go. Number 6. We're returning to the Turbo album. I cannot believe that nobody has picked this song. Out in the Cold.
Thought about it.
Love that song.
Thought about it.
And nobody's mentioned it. I love it. I love it. The first time I ever heard it, I knew it was my favorite song on the album, and it has been ever since. I love it. It's a great tune. It's got that slow groove, lying awake at night. It's got that killer keyboard intro too. I mean, I know some fans of Judas Priest who just can't stand this record, but I'm like, yeah, but listen to Out in the Cold because it's such a great tune. Number 5. What do we got for number 5? Coming back to this one. Ooh, Delivering the Goods at number 5. Yeah. Just great. You guys have pretty much all covered it, though, so I don't have to say too much on this, but just an absolutely fantastic song off of an absolutely fantastic record. Number 4. Number 4 is All Guns Blazing. That is a blazing tune, my friends. Wow, what a killer track. It's on par with the rest of the album. It's for the most part, it's very fast, it's very heavy, it's very aggressive, it's in your face, and I love it. I love it. Halford sounds like he's some sort of demon on this track. in the coolest way possible. So yeah, number 4, All Guns Blazing, just fantastic. Number 3, I Believe You're the Devil's Child.
Oh.
I love that song so much. That riff is kick-ass. It's just great. It's just great. I love it so much. Number 3 for me is Devil's Child.
I can't stand it anymore.
I believe you're the devil.
That ending is awesome.
Yeah, and he hits some really high notes in that song. He sounds amazing on that tune. Just awesome, and he can still sing it. Like, how are you 70 years old and you can still sing like that? He drives me crazy. I love him. So number 3 is Devil's Child. Now, remember when I said I was shocked that no one picked Out in the Cold? I'm even more shocked that this song was on nobody's list.
Oh, here we go.
The title track. The
Painkiller.
title track. People said that Priest was not sounding as heavy as the fans wanted them to be, so then they came out with this thing. I don't know, at this time when this came out, usually it was CDs, I guess, in 1990, but you throw on the disc and you're just blasted with this drumming assault from the title track. It is just killer. This is absolutely one of their definitive songs. This is the first. My dad was playing this for me when I was like 5 years old. He just, yeah, he was like, you got to hear this. He used to drive his neighbors crazy with that song. That's a funny story for another time. We won't get into that here, but it's great. It's a good one. Number 2 is Painkiller, and that leaves my number 1, which is, we're coming back to this album, A Touch of Evil. Fantastic. Right. I think Wayne had that at number 15. Is that correct? I was like, it's too low. It's too low. It's too low. It's just that middle part, that bridge where he's like, my soul is on fire. Oh, oh. I'm not gonna dare try to butcher that, but he's like, when the band drops out and he goes, you're possessing me. Oh, chills every time. Every time. Oh, it is so good.
I don't know. I loved that album when it came out. Painkiller. It was like a big, like, they're back kind of thing. But I think over the years it's lost something for me. I just think, I feel like, not that I love those songs and everything still, but
well, you're right. You're right for the most part, like for most of the time, but you could be wrong once in a while. It's okay. This is I'm just playing with you, Lauren.
That's it.
Yeah, there's definitely something different sonically about this album that's different than all the ones before and even after it too, right? Especially after it, obviously they would switch singers, and some people don't like the Demolition record. I kind of like that one, but anyway. Anyway,
the only thing I don't like about it now is, in retrospect, that it feels like they were trying really hard to be young thrash metal band, like with all the young guys that had come up behind them, and forgetting the fact that they were already 18 years old, that band, it doesn't quite sound right to me now. That's all I'm saying about that album.
Yeah. No, I was just giving you a hard time. You're never wrong, Lauren. You know it.
See?
Yeah, it's like listening to some of the drumming on Ram It Down, like how heavy some of that drumming was, and it's like, am I listening to Judas Priest, or are they trying to be like more of these extreme metal bands?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they should still stay in their lane, but I don't know.
One of the heavier, crazier metal bands of that time, like the guys on my shirt, just bought tickets yesterday to go see them in Toronto in 2 weeks. That's awesome. Martin, I know you live in Toronto. Are you a Pantera fan?
Yeah, definitely. I think they ruled the 90s. All of those albums are good. All the the Atco albums. But I'd say Vulgar's probably my favorite. But they're all really close. They saved metal in the 90s. They were definitely better than everything else, kind of thing, right? They deserved what they got.
I know you're a busy guy. Are you going to see them when they come to Toronto?
I didn't even know they were coming. I don't know. Probably not. I'm not a big live concert guy. It just feels, I get to a concert and I'm like 3 songs in, I'm looking for the exits, right? Okay, I've seen everything I need to see here. my curiosity is over with, right? So
right.
It's funny. I just got to remind myself of that every time. Every time I'm going to a show, it's like, I don't want to be here. It doesn't fit with my drinking schedule either. It's too late. I like drinking on an empty stomach at about 5, right? Not 3 hours after dinner.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't drink at all, so I've never had that issue, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. It's like, they're much later, then you get home at a certain time. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, especially obviously for you. I know you stay in Toronto. Is that correct? You're still living in Toronto right now, Martin? Yeah. So you don't live far. I live about 45 to 60 minutes away, around that. So it's like, by the time I get out of the parking lot and get home, it's nearly 1 o'clock and I'm still wired for sound. I love concerts. Concerts is what I do. I just love them so much. I saw Pantera last summer when they opened for Metallica in Montreal, and that was bleeping amazing.
All right, Cody, I gotta head out.
All right, yeah. Well, that's
do my
pretty much
radio
wraps
thing.
up the show anyway. Have a great day, Lauren. Thanks for coming
All
on,
right.
man.
Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
thanks. Awesome list.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, bro.
And listen, be sure to listen. Okay,
That's
bye.
right.
Bye.
All right, so that leaves us. Well, anyway, yeah, we're coming to the conclusion. We're coming to the end here, but I just want to say a quick thank you to obviously Lauren and Wayne and Matt and Martin. You guys are all. I mean, we're all super busy people here on the panel, but you guys made time to come today, and I really appreciate having you on. You guys are all super cool, and I love all of you. You guys have great taste. So let's just do a quick run through of what we got going on with our channels and our lives and things like that, just so that people who maybe didn't see the beginning of the video can kind of catch it again right now. So Wayne, what do you got going on in Pocket Full of Heap and Prisms of Prague?
A bunch of reactions coming out next week. What would I have coming up? I just finished filming my reaction for what is it? Something She's So Heavy by the Beatles.
Oh, I Want You.
Yeah, I Want You, She's So Heavy. Finished filming my reaction for that. That should be up either tomorrow or Monday. Prisms of Prague, probably going to keep going with Is This Album Any Good series, which I started with Dream Theater's Metropolis Part 2.
Wow, that's a
next
great
album might put up a poll and see what people want to see, but one of my ideas was either Quadrophenia or Tommy by The Who, or Elias's Sunhillow by John Anderson or something. I'll probably figure out 4 or 5 albums to put on there.
Obviously, you just led me into doing this, Wayne. But this is a book that I just got from Mr. Martin Popoff down on the panel here, and it's an excellent book. Check it out. It's The Who, Quadrophenia. Nice. What else you got, Wayne?
That's pretty much it. Got to go jury selection stuff tomorrow, and
fun.
Get to go spend a day doing that. So.
Awesome.
For Monday, so it's going to be quite a busy week.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I feel you there. Especially with all this great, cool stuff that I'm joining Deep Nuggets Radio alongside Mr. Matt Brown. Matt Brown does Tuesdays. I'll be doing Thursdays, and Lauren will be doing Saturdays. What's new with you, Matt?
Well, I've got your show and Lauren's show on my calendar, so I can sit and listen, scrutinize.
Yeah, awesome.
Kidding.
Awesome.
There will not be a test on this material, but no, I'm actually very much looking forward to hearing what the two of you bring to the station. So,
thank you.
And you're welcome. My Tuesday show will keep going. The only time it gets interrupted is if I have, important business, or if I have something going on with my lady, or if I have time. Because she's a regular listener to the show too, so she's always like, "What are you going to play this week?"
And you never know until it's showtime. It's like, oh, what do I feel like playing? Oh, yes, Metallica or something, right?
Well, I used to plan my shows, but I stopped doing that at one point. I had planned out an entire show, and I got there, and I'm like, I'm not into hearing any of this right now. So I definitely treat it more like the old freeform jocks used to treat it, where they say, well, what mood am I in? What mood is my audience in? It's a journey. It's like listening to a live mixtape, basically. And that's how I treat it. And it's I don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. There's kind of a thrill with that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, that's on Deep Nuggets Radio. I repeat, Deep Nuggets Radio. Go check it out, and you'll hear us over there next week. Later this week.
Yes, we're a silly bunch, but we have hearts of gold, and we love our music, and it's a very eclectic station.
We jump from we'll go from the Police to Phil Collins to literally I will jump from those to Slayer and Opeth, no problem.
Yeah. I've gone from Percy Granger to Judas Priest in one fell swoop. So I mean, you just never know what you're gonna get.
Exactly. And you know what? It's one of those things that if you don't like the song that's on, wait 5 minutes and come back because you're going to find something that you do like, right? So,
Bingo. Exactly.
Mr. Martin Popoff, what do you got going on?
Yeah, so every Friday morning, 9 Eastern, I'm on with Pete Pardo on Sea of Tranquility. And we do, the Contrarians has a regular, every Wednesday at 7 Eastern, we do an album cover related show. The audio podcast is History in 5 Songs with Martin Popoff. Every episode's about a half an hour long. And cool. The new book last 2 weeks ago is this one, Perfect Water, the Rebel Imaginos, and that goes with Flaming Telepaths, Imaginos Expanded and Specified. So that's the weird Blue Oyster Cult related one. And all my books are at martinpopoff.com, PayPal buttons. I sign them, send them out from the office here in Toronto. So that's pretty much everything.
Awesome. Yeah. And I love what you do in the Contrarians. Actually, Wayne and I feature on the Prog Corner all the time. And we have Pontus from the Contrarians.
Oh, yeah.
He joins us there all the time. He's great. And obviously the Sea of Tranquility stuff is super cool, man. That's a dream gig. Yeah. that's a big time thing. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Your books are all incredible. I've got probably 6 or 7 of them now, and everyone has been totally fascinating, interesting. Just everything about them has been great. So awesome, man. Thanks for the great content.
Yeah, great.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you and everyone in the Peanut Gallery and everyone who's viewing on demand after the stream is over. Thanks for watching. We love you so much here on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. And we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye now.
See you later.
All right. I think it really says something about